You know, we've been led to believe that our thoughts dictate our reality, but what if it's actually our feelings that hold the true power? Most people walk through life thinking the mind is the master, while the body serves as mere machinery. But here's what they don't realize. When you truly connect your mind and body, magic unfolds. You see, imagine a river flowing uninterrupted. The thoughts are the surface ripples, while the deeper currents are your emotions guiding the water's path. This river is alive, vibrant, and full of potential, endlessly carving its way through the landscape, driven not merely by thoughts, but by the powerful current of feelings beneath. Now, here's where things get interesting. When you operate from the belief that thoughts are supreme, you diminish the role of your body, and you dismiss the powerful sensations that emerge from within. This disconnection leads to chaos. It's as if you're trying to steer a ship with only the surface wind, ignoring the currents that govern your direction. You've felt this, haven't you? You know how it feels when anxiety spikes, or when sadness washes over you like an unexpected wave. It's as if something deep within is vying for your attention, crying out to be acknowledged. But the truth is, many people ignore these feelings, thinking that reasoning and willpower can resolve their struggles. And there lies the paradox. We live in a culture that glorifies mental mastery, where we're taught to fixate on our thoughts as if they're the only players on the stage of our lives. The stakes are high, my friend. By neglecting our feelings, we suppress parts of ourselves, leading to rigidity in our emotional landscapes. This rigidity may create an illusion of stability, but it suffocates authenticity. When you refuse to feel, you close off to the richness of your own experience, trapping yourself in a cage of your own making. In your pursuit of stability, you may find the iron grip of your ego tightening around you. It craves control and certitude, convinced that without these, life threatens to tip into chaos. But here's the thing. The chaos we fear often resides in the very disconnection we create. I want you to take a moment and reflect. Have you ever fought an internal battle, trying to think your way out of an overwhelming feeling? You know the one I mean. The cycle of racing thoughts that spirals into anxious questioning, leaving you feeling lost, no closer to clarity than when you started. Let me tell you a story that highlights this struggle. I once knew a woman who spent years battling anxiety, believing she could think her way to peace. Every time a wave of discomfort washed over her, she would clench her jaw, remind herself of every logical reason to push the anxiety aside, trying to outthink her emotions. But instead of easing, the storm inside her raged on. Then came the turning point. She surrendered to her body's sensations instead. She began allowing herself to feel the pounding of her heart, the tightness in her chest, the fluttering in her stomach. It was in this act of surrender that she discovered an unexpected ease. The moment she allowed her true feelings to rise to the surface, the storm quieted. The chaos transformed into a gentle flow. This is where the magic is. The moment you understand that your feelings are the compass that directs your journey, you step into a world where the ego fades, revealing the essence of who you truly are. Because this isn't just about mental mastery, it's about embodiment, where thoughts and feelings unite in harmony, creating a symphony rather than a discordant cacophony. So let me invite you to explore this deeper connection, where thinking, feeling, and being all dance in synchronicity. Now, if this is resonating with you, if you're beginning to sense the power of your feelings over mere thoughts, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button because we're about to dive even deeper. Leave a comment below. Have you experienced the tension between what you think and how you feel? I read every single one, and I'd love to connect with you. You see, as we continue this journey together, it becomes vital to understand that loosening the grip of the ego doesn't come through force, but through the simple acceptance of what is. Acceptance of your emotions creates space for the magic of life to unfold, creating harmony where there was once conflict. Here lies an opportunity to reshape your understanding of power. It's time to uncover what happens when you allow yourself to feel, to connect, and to live fully. So where do we go from here? Let's dig deeper because understanding the psychology behind this connection is what transforms everything. You see, when you approach life from a standpoint that prioritizes thoughts over feelings, you unconsciously set up a battle within yourself. This tug-of-war is what keeps many people trapped in their most challenging situations. You might be wondering, what actually happens in the psyche when we favor thoughts? The truth is, neglecting our feelings creates a pattern of disconnection that reverberates throughout our lives. It's as if we walk around with blinders on, focused solely on the surface. But here's what I want you to understand. Beneath that surface lies a rich tapestry of emotions that are begging to be felt and acknowledged. When we suppress them, they don't just vanish. They fester, they grow, often turning into anxiety, resentment, or numbness. Consider for a moment the hidden costs of this disconnection. People spend years in a haze of frustration, trying to think their way to happiness, yet all the while they're missing out on the fullness of their existence. You've probably noticed this in your own life, those moments when you feel utterly drained, exhausted from a relentless mental dialogue. That persistent voice that tells you to keep pushing harder, to find the answers in logic, often leads us to emotional burnout. And so you spend years in pursuit of something beyond your reach, feeling as though happiness is always just one thought away, always another cognitive leap that never materializes. Let me share a story that illustrates this beautifully. I knew a man named Jack, a high achiever in every sense of the word. He was admired, accomplished, and seemingly had it all together. Yet inside, he wrestled daily with an emptiness that gnawed at him relentlessly. Jack had convinced himself that if he achieved one more milestone or climbed one more rung on the corporate ladder, he would finally feel fulfilled. But every success was followed by an even deeper sense of disconnection. The root of his struggle, his refusal to confront his feelings which simmered beneath the surface. Jack was constantly telling himself that he didn't have time for emotions. After all, he was too busy achieving. But one day, after a particularly challenging project, the weight of his suppressed feelings became too much to bear. He found himself in tears, a rare release that shocked him to his core. After a long cathartic cry, he was left feeling lighter, as though a weight had been lifted. Jack realized in that moment that he could no longer deny what he felt. It was not merely a weakness, but a part of his authentic experience. He began to explore this new territory, where feelings guided his decisions. And here's where things get interesting. As Jack embraced his emotions, he found clarity. It was like someone turned the lights on in a dimly lit room. Decisions that once felt stalled became crystal clear. The chaos in his life morphed into a harmonious existence, where feeling became an integral part of thinking, each emotion enriching the tapestry of his thoughts rather than detracting from them. Jack's transformation revealed a profound truth that many overlook. When you open the door to your feelings, you allow life to flow freely, without obstruction. So, what does this tell us? It highlights that the disconnection is not a personal flaw, but a pervasive societal issue. We're conditioned to prioritize certain behaviors, to be productive and rational, often at the expense of our emotional well-being, and while the mind may appear strong and reliable, it is the heart that is often the first to guide us toward true fulfillment. Now here's what changes everything. Acceptance of our feelings doesn't mean giving in to chaos. It means creating a framework for understanding yourself. You transition from merely surviving to truly living. Those moments of emotional honesty arm you with the energy you need to navigate life's ups and downs. So how do we get there? It's about practice, actively listening to your body, acknowledging your feelings, and giving them space to breathe. You have the power to train yourself to tune in. When feelings bubble up, instead of pushing them away, lean in. Ask yourself, what is this feeling telling me? What do I truly need? This kind of inquiry transforms your relationship with yourself. It awakens your intuition, making it your most dependable compass. However, let's not be naive. This journey will meet resistance. Internal voices that say, you shouldn't feel this way, will try to silence you. External pressures will insist that emotional expression is a sign of weakness. But when you know the truth, that you're not an anomaly for feeling deeply, it becomes easier to push back against those narratives. You'll begin to see this practice not as an add-on to your life, but as essential to your existence. And as you dive deeper, you may notice a change. You're more resilient, more adaptable, and you discover joy in places you never looked before. You come to understand that feelings are layers of wisdom waiting to be unearthed. Embrace those feelings. They will guide you, empower you, and ultimately free you. So here's what I want to leave you with as we transition. As you embark on this journey of self-exploration, remember that it's okay to feel raw and vulnerable. That's part of the process. When the heart leads, every heartache becomes an opportunity for growth, an invitation to connect more deeply with who you are meant to be. And trust me, this awareness will transform your life in ways you have yet to imagine. With that, let's explore the next step together. It's time to integrate these insights into your daily experience, to embody the wisdom of feeling. Now let's take a moment to crystallize this transformation. When you truly embrace the power of your feelings, what changes? You see, the shift is profound. It's not just a minor adjustment, it's a complete reorientation of how you perceive the world and yourself. The moment you allow feelings to flow without resistance, something miraculous occurs. You begin to see clearly. Instead of living in a fog of confusion and doubt, you cultivate a clarity of purpose that guides your decisions. Imagine how liberating that is, knowing you're in tune with your inner self, navigating life's complexities with a calm, steady compass. Here's the thing. When you understand feelings as valid indicators rather than disturbances to be ignored, you unlock a way of living rooted in authenticity. This is where embodiment begins. It's not about pretending to be someone you're not, or wearing a mask that fits society's expectations. It's about grounding yourself in your experience and acknowledging that every feeling, whether joyous or painful, carries a message, a lesson waiting to unfold. So how do we practically apply this understanding? Here's what you do. Start with tiny moments of awareness throughout your day. Pause and check in with your body. Ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? It could be something as simple as a tension in your neck or a flutter in your stomach. Acknowledge it, name it, allow it space to be. This practice doesn't require monumental change overnight. It requires gentle, consistent attention. And let's address those common obstacles you might encounter. You may feel the pressure to conform to a narrative where emotional vulnerability is perceived as weak. And yes, people will judge you when you reveal the depths of your feelings. But let me tell you this, vulnerability is not a liability. It's your strength. It's the unique soil from which authenticity grows. When you allow yourself to be vulnerable, you invite others to do the same, creating connections that are deep, rich, and fulfilling. Now let me share another example that illustrates the transformational power of this work. There was a woman named Sarah who worked as a teacher. On the outside, she seemed completely competent and composed, shaping young minds with creativity and enthusiasm. But behind the scenes, she was battling a storm of self-doubt and fear. For years, Sarah ignored the anxiety that sickened her stomach before every class, believing that she had to present a perfect facade to her students and colleagues. In her quest to be the ideal teacher, she lost touch with her own feelings, pushing them down deeper every time they arose. One day the pressure became unbearable. She broke down in front of her students, tears streaming down her face. But something remarkable happened in that moment. Instead of panic or distress, her students rushed to comfort her, showing compassion she had not expected. What started as an embarrassing moment became an opportunity for connection. Sarah realized that in her vulnerability, she found not only support, but also healing. By allowing her true feelings to surface, Sarah stepped into a powerful realization. Her genuine self, with all its imperfections, resonated with her students far more than the polished persona she'd crafted. She reclaimed her authenticity, which in turn ignited a passion for teaching that had long been buried. This transformation wasn't just about Sarah's emotional liberation. It was about changing how others interacted with their feelings, encouraging her students to embrace vulnerability as a strength. You see, the beautiful irony is that when you allow your feelings to guide your pathway, you liberate not just yourself but also those around you. You inspire a chain reaction of authenticity. It becomes a movement. People wake up to the understanding that we are all connected through our shared humanity. Your journey of feeling becomes a beacon of light, illuminating the way for others who are stuck in their own cycles of disconnection. Now, let's weave these ideas together. When you embrace your feelings, you stop running from the challenges life presents and start engaging with them. You're not just reacting, you're responding from a place of grounded awareness. This is how you make choices that resonate deeply with your authentic self, moving you towards the fulfilling existence you've always dreamed of. Here's the paradox. The more you lean into your feelings, the less behavior driven by fear or insecurity controls your life. You become the architect of your own reality rather than a puppet to societal expectations. Each moment you allow yourself to feel gives rise to a new depth of understanding about who you are and what you want. And remember this, true transformation is not a destination, it's a continuous journey. It's about the unwavering commitment to honor your feelings and let them guide your path. So go ahead and give yourself permission to feel deep emotions again, to cry, to laugh, to experience everything that makes you human. As you continue to practice this integration of feeling and thinking, you'll notice your life becoming richer, more vibrant. You'll be more in touch with what brings you joy, what inspires you, what ignites that fire in your belly. It's time to dance with your emotions and thoughts like partners in an exquisite waltz, creating harmony rather than conflict. Embrace your journey, for every step you take toward embodying your true self is a step toward living life fully. Now, let's prepare to explore how to take this journey even further into the realm of genuine connection. As the rhythm of your life flows with both thought and feeling, we'll discover how to nurture this relationship even more deeply in our closing segment. Remember, the magic unfolds when you honor who you are in your entirety, mind, body, and heart. So let's bring all of this full circle. Remember when we started this journey by discussing the power of feelings and the importance of integrating them into your life? As you step into this realm, you may feel a bit of uncertainty. That's completely normal. It's a space where vulnerability and courage intertwine. You're embarking on a path that many shy away from, but you're not just anyone. You're a seeker, ready to embrace the full spectrum of your humanity. Now, what does it all mean? It means you're learning to give yourself permission to be authentic. You're allowed to feel joy, sadness, excitement, and fear without judgment. Each emotion is a thread in the tapestry of your life, and when woven together, they create a rich, vibrant portrait of who you truly are. This portrait includes every nuance, every shade, and every texture that makes you uniquely human. You see, everyday life will throw challenges your way, testing this newfound understanding. But remember, challenges are not the enemy. They're opportunities for growth, invitations to dive deeper into the well of your feelings. When you encounter difficulties, whether personal or professional, you'll find that the tools you've developed, this practice of tuning in and embracing your emotions, will serve you well. Rather than running from tough situations or trying to outthink your way through them, you will lean in, exploring what these moments reveal about yourself. Let's talk about the permission you're granting yourself. You are allowed to take a step back and reassess when things get overwhelming. You're allowed to put your emotional well-being at the forefront. It's a liberating feeling, isn't it? To understand that you don't have to meet everyone else's expectations or succumb to the pressures built by society. You can define success on your own terms, based on how you feel inside rather than how you appear outside. Now let's reframe the original problem we explored, that battle between thought and feeling. It's not about choosing one over the other. It's about recognizing that they can coexist in harmony. You're not broken for feeling deeply, nor are you wrong for thinking critically. You can synthesize these two aspects of your being, your thoughts and your feelings, into a dynamic partnership that enriches every aspect of your life. Here's the beautiful truth. When you position yourself as the architect of your own reality, a world of possibilities opens up. If you allow yourself to feel, you step into the realm of creativity, intuition, and innovation. Imagine waking up each day feeling inspired because you've embraced your emotional landscape and allowed it to guide your actions. You begin to experience a flow that moves you through life effortlessly, empowering you to act in ways that feel true to your nature. I want to leave you with this final thought. Awakening this consciousness is not just a personal endeavor, it's a shared journey. Every time you honor your emotions, you extend that same permission to others. You may inspire friends, family, or even strangers to acknowledge their feelings, fostering a ripple effect of authenticity. This is how we transform our relationships, by being willing to be vulnerable, raw, and real. And let's not forget the times when the waters get choppy. Even as you continue on this path, embrace the idea that missteps and growing pains are part of the process. That's how it goes. It's a wave of expansion, ebbing and flowing. Each experience teaches you something valuable. You learn to navigate the currents and emerge stronger, wiser, and more connected to yourself and those around you. As we close this chapter, I invite you to consciously reflect on your journey. Ask yourself, what have I learned about myself? How can I continue to honor my feelings in every situation I encounter? Your ability to answer these questions will shape the path forward and influence how you interact with the world. So take a deep breath and savor this moment. Allow all the insights you've gained to settle deep within you. You have everything you need to move forward boldly, confident in your ability to create a life that resonates with your heart's true desires. Embrace your journey, for you are no longer just a passenger. You are the captain navigating through the beautiful seas of your own life with wisdom, intuition, and authenticity. Remember, my friend, this is just the beginning. Continue to dance with your emotions, befriend your thoughts, and forge a life that celebrates the magnificence of who you truly are. In that space lies the freedom to be alive, to create, and to connect, now and always.